Hi guys, as you probably know, I'm quite into the self-coaching using cameras, and on Sunday the 11th of April up at Yorkshire Sailing Club I had the front mast cam and the boom cam running on the RS800 and put together a bit of a self-coaching video, and Lewis suggested I actually put a commentary on it to point out what's going on rather than people just look at it and figure it out for themselves. So we'll just talk through the actual video as we go. I'll just fire that up. So to start with, it's just on the start line of race 1. I'm coming up behind the 29s to get duck underneath him on the start. Unfortunately, Ollie's fin's just a little bit too close to the start area, so I do shout quite vigorously at Ollie to give us some room, because I've got the 29ers boom on one side of us and my racks heading towards Ollie's rather expensive fin on the other side. So excuse the shouting on the start. After that, it's a blast. I'm calling for weight up quite actively there. Didn't want to heel up at that point and spin up to wing. I need to get below the 29er, so I'm just slowly going to wind again, just so we can sit behind them ready to break through onto the line towards the pin end of the line. Ollie's coming towards us there. Ollie gets out of the way, we get the rack into the gap okay. And the race is seconds to go, 2-1, and we're off. You can just see the muster up at the top end there gets to the line at the same time. The wind had swung quite a long way to the left, so the muster had a good pin end start, but he immediately swung back right, so his advantage kind of went out the window then. It was an even run going up here. So as far as we're concerned at the minute, we're trying to keep the boat flat at the minute. We're powered up, it's just on and off being twin wiring conditions. So Lou's working herself in and out and off the racks. Second section again, we're trying to coach ourselves with a downwind sailing, trying to keep the boat level and trying to keep the boat under full control. So at the minute now we've got to pick a route through the fleet. We're coming up, this is the second fleet start, they're now coming back up the race course. So we managed to get through them. Again, we're trying to keep the boat level here. I'm trying to stay in one position on the wire so I can maintain some control of the boat, while Lou's trying to move in and out now to keep the boat level for me, as we're picking our way through these guys and the wind shadow that's behind them as well. Again, we're getting better at keeping the boat flat, but that muster in front, we just can't catch the muster, and we need to be finishing about 3 to 4 minutes in front of them to win on a handicap. And at the minute we're still finishing behind them, so we've got a long way to go. But Lou's working hard to keep the boat level there. Again, coming up to the tack, we're trying different tacking techniques. This one, Lou's actually tacked through behind the mast, and some of the other footage later on we actually try tacking in front of the mast. We're coming up on the mark now. We're going to try and get everything kicker off, main off, jib off to get the bear away, and Lou going for the hoist. So Lou's in for the hoist now. A little slower than she'd like to do. Interestingly, hits the top, and then she pulls it again, and a second time. So there's 2 actual extra pulls there that weren't needed, and will have pulled the kite up all even tighter into the cleat, so it'll be even harder to get off downwind when you go for the drop. Again, jibe, we're looking at different jibing techniques. Lou's been working on the footwork, when to bring the kite through so that nothing flogs. The biggest problem I've got in a light wind like this is actually popping the battens. So at the minute I'm swinging off the handle to try and pop the battens, but without disrupting the kite. Again, boat's nice and level, we can see that from the rear view as well. We can watch the footsteps and the manoeuvres coming through. The amount of boat here is just about right. I swing off the battens to pop it, Lou fills the kite, and we're through, and then she's straight in for a drop. Again, the advantage of the rear view, or the front camera facing to the rear, is you get a nice view of your footsteps as you're coming through and how level the boat is. You seem to get a better angle from there because the camera's fixed to the mast rather than swinging backwards and forwards as the boom moves. So again, you notice on that one, Lou goes out from the rack to help initiate the turn. Battens popped. Again, we need to get the timing better on that one, so I pop the battens just after the kite is filled. But we're getting there. Again, boat level. It's not very windy, so we're having to build up the apparent Lou goes out onto the trapeze, and she'll go further out then as the wind builds and the speed builds and the apparent wind increases. There we go. If it's windier than that, we've both been on the wire by now. Again, next clip is just us trying to keep the boat under control, picking our way through a couple of boats who are windward. No point is tacking at this point. We'd have been far. We had a much better angle going on the course we were on, so we decided to stick to it, and unfortunately then the 200 had to detour and the aero had to flick round behind us. But again, if you watch Lou moving in and out from the front of the racks as well, trying to keep the boat level. Again, we're looking at our tacking there, make sure we're doing everything smoothly. Here comes the bearway, so Lou's going out onto the rack. She'll move out as far as she needs to. She's holding the shroud now and not the trapeze, which means when she steps in too early, the boat catches a bit of wind, starts to heel. Neither of us have got hold of the actual trapeze handle, so we can't actually fly out onto the rack. We could have saved that. If I'd been holding on to mine and Lou hadn't been holding the shroud, we could have probably saved that one. So, quick fast forward. And again, the technique we're using at the moment is I come in over the bow of the boat, off the dagger board, which you can see up at the top. So again, we're analysing how quick we're doing the capsize recoveries, general technique. Again, nicely handled. Different technique again upwind now. We're trying to get me in a position on the rack so that I can keep better control of the boat. So Lou, in order to keep the boat level now, they're having a trapeze right at the front of the rack, so she's partly off the hull. Gets her weight in, allows her to move in and out quicker and keep the boat level for me, which she's doing nicely. Again, coming up for another bear away. Lou's going to come in off the rack on this one, so she'll be standing and releasing the jib as she comes in. There's the jib release, and she just slides in on that one. Again, the wind was very changeable, fairly changeable in direction at some point in the race, but definitely lots of holes and gaps in the wind. So if you watch this one, check our course downwind now. I'm looking now, if you look where the pole is in relation to this hill in the background, I'm looking to build apparent now, and the trick is that I've been told is just don't try and rush it. So we're letting the speed build. Lou's already onto the gunnel. It's after the racks. If you check the angle we're at now, I'm going slightly higher at the minute to try and pick up a little bit more power so we can get some more apparent wind. So it's started to build now. We started to accelerate, which means there's more power there. I'm going up again a little bit higher to try and get Lou that little bit further out. And there's a bit of wind coming in as well over here as well, so a combination of that, Lou can go out there, I can bear right away, the wind drops off, we've got the apparent pickup now, so we've actually accelerated, and as the wind is building now with the apparent wind going forward, I'm able to start bearing away again. Starting with Lou on the rack, I'm already out to the gunnels on the wire as well, so we're building speed and building apparent. Tidying sheets, making sure everything's clear. Notice Lou's got a triangle in place ready in case we need to jibe. I'm just looking for a ley line now and trying to work out where the other boats are coming up the lake. Again, trying to keep the boat level downwind. With it being up and down, I didn't want to go out right onto the rack at this point because we did actually have a near capsize earlier with the boat on top of us. Again, prepping for the jibe, so I've gone in for better control in the lighter winds. Lou's getting ready to come in, she's got the sheets triangled. So she's moving across, she's checking her footwork on this video down at the bottom now. Fight filled, pop the battens, nice. If you watch you did actually just see the wake at the back of the boat there. We stayed on the plane all the way through that one. And again, just another clip now, the way Lou's actually stood on the gunnel now rather than on the edge of the rack, just to keep the boat level, able to move in and out quickly to keep us under control. We're back to the beginning again. Back to the weight up. The weight up was pretty important at the beginning there as well. The boat was going to heel at that point, as I said, and I didn't want it to spin up to wind and lose our position behind the 29er. So hope that makes it all a bit clearer.